Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chemistry is Fun. Today we will see that this is a branch of science which we can very easily learn with playway method. And I'll also give you certain examples to prove my sentence. Actually, a day before I was sitting on a park bench and I saw that two children were playing there. Suddenly they took out two chocolates from their pockets and just when they were about to eat, one of the children found that the chocolate was little bigger in size and he said so to his friend. Suddenly they started comparing the size. Actually, unknowingly, what they were doing was that they were comparing the mass content of the two chocolates. The chocolate which was bigger in size is definitely having a larger mass than the one which is having the smaller size. So from here we can conclude that mass is a factor by which we can explain matter. So anything that has mass can be termed as matter. So mass is a first contributing factor to define the term matter. Secondly, again these two children while playing, they started playing with balloons and it was found that one of the balloons was bigger in size. While comparing, now what they were doing was that they were comparing the volumes of the two balloons. Volume means space. The space occupied is called as the volume. So this is another contributing factor for defining matter. So we can say that matter occupies space. That is, the thing which occupies space can be called as matter. Combining the two, we can define that anything which is having mass and which also occupies space is termed as matter. Now next we have to focus on the constituents of matter. We will try to see what matter is made up of. We find that matter is basically made up of atoms. When atoms combine chemically, we get molecules. That is, they form the bonds, either covalent or electrovalent bonds. When it is formed, atoms form the molecules. And when the atoms lose or gain the electrons, we get ions. Actually, in the last shell, that is the outermost shell of the atom, there is a possibility that they can either gain electrons, as mostly in the case of nonmetals like fluorine, oxygen, they can gain the electrons. Electron gaining can take place in examples like fluorine or chlorine. Fluorine, fluorine. It can lose electrons as in case of sodium. Sodium is a metal, it can easily lose electron to form cations. So, ion formation can take place from the atoms when either they are gaining or losing the electrons. So, most of the matter is made up of atoms and molecules. In certain cases, as we will see in the plasma state, ions are also present. So, now we come to the various states of matter. The main phases are the solid, liquid and gas. Fourth state is also known as plasma state. In solid state, we find that there are strong intermolecular forces of attraction. So the space is very less. The intermolecular space is very, very less. Intermolecular space is very less as in the case of solids. There is a close packed structure which we find in the solids. The molecules are not free to move. The solid state can be of two types. One solid type we call as crystalline, another is amorphous. Crystalline solids like diamond. Example of crystalline solid is diamond. In crystalline solids, there is a ordered arrangement. In crystalline solids, we find that there is a ordered arrangement and we find a crystal lattice. In the amorphous solids, the orderliness is not there. We don't get a ordered crystal lattice in case of amorphous solids. Example can be plastic. So these are the two types of the solid state. Next we come to liquid state. In liquid state, the intermolecular space is very high. The molecules are placed far apart. So we find that the molecules are free to move. So we can also term liquid state that it is a fluid. Liquids are also called as fluids because the molecules are free to move. The intermolecular space is more compared to that in the solids. So in solid, if we go back a little, in solids if we show the arrangement of the molecules like this, with very less intermolecular space, we can find that the gaps are very less. In case of liquid state, we find that gaps will be more. More gaps are there in liquid state. And because of this gap, it is possible for the molecules to move from one place to other. Little movement is possible, so we call them as fluids. In case of liquids, we find that when the temperature is increasing, as the temperature rises, the vibrations of the molecules also increase. So what happens? The viscosity will move down. That is, the viscosity will become less. There is a decrease in viscosity because as the temperature increases, the vibrations of the molecules also increase. The intermolecular space will become more now. The kinetic energy also increases. There is an increase in the kinetic energy as well. Next we come to the next state of matter, that is gases. Among the three, they are having the lowest density. The molecules are very much free to move. If we continue the comparison of the arrangement of molecules which we did in solids and liquids, we can represent the gas molecules in this manner, very distantly placed. That's why we say that in gases there is a property which we can call as diffusion. This property is very clearly visible in gases. We can give an example for this. If we open a perfume bottle in one corner of the room, we can smell the perfume in another far corner. This is because the molecules of the perfume, they will collide with the gas molecules and they reach the other part while doing so. This is diffusion. So this is a property, integral property of the gases. We find diffusion here. And maximum intermolecular space is found. In gases actually we have more than one types of atomic arrangement. In some gases like helium, it is an inert gas. We can also call these as noble gas. The reason being We call them inert because they are chemically inert. They do not combine with other gases or any other element because their outermost shell is fully filled. They don't have the ability or even the requirement to go for any sort of chemical binding with any other atom of any element. So more of these examples like helium, neon. Neon is also like this only. They belong to the same group of the periodic table. They are made up of only one atom. They are monoatomic. We call this monoatomic. Mono means one. Next we find other types of molecules like oxygen. Oxygen molecule can be represented as O2. There is a double bond. It is a covalent bond, double covalent bond in case of oxygen. Other molecules like Cl2. Cl2 is made up of two chlorine atoms which are bonded by a single covalent bond. So these are molecular structures. In these gases we find that molecular arrangement is present. Overall, if we see which is prevalent all around us, that is air. Air is a mixture of various types of gases. In that, maximum will be nitrogen, nearly 21% is oxygen. Other gases like CO2, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen also will be present in very trace amount. Water vapor is also present. So we find air and we can't, when the pollutants are not there, when there will be no particulate matter, suspended particulate matter is not there, it's crystal clear, we can see through, but continuously every time gases are present, the intermolecular space is very, very high. The fourth state which we see is the plasma state. Plasma state is made up of ions and the free electrons. To understand this, let us just have a small look at the atomic structure. See, if this is the atom, in the central part there is a nucleus. It is a very small and very dense part inside the atom. It is positively charged because it is having protons and neutrons. In another video I will explain in detail about this structure. Around the nucleus the electrons are revolving in some shells, but afterwards it was found that actually these are not the shells, they are having their orbital nature, that is the electron is present in some as an electron cloud, that is we define the space as the area where there is maximum probability of finding the electrons. So in that description I'll be giving in another video. So what I mean to say is that the outermost electrons can be removed. Once these electrons are removed, we will get a positively charged internal part which is also known as a kernel, KERNEL. That will be positive in charge. So whenever any neutral gas is strongly heated or it is under strong electromagnetic field, it can be converted into plasma. Neutral gas means it is not having any charge, so we term it as neutral. So when we will heat it or it is under very strong electromagnetic field, the electrons may be removed from the outermost shell and it gets converted into ions, that will be mostly positive ions. So whenever we find that ions are there and free electrons are there, where these free electrons will come from? Just now as I said, these outermost electrons can be easily removed. So these electrons and the ions together constitute the plasma state. So with this we can conclude that everything which we see around us, which we feel, even we ourselves, everything is made up of, in some form or the other, of the ultimate particle which we call as atoms, which again combine to form the molecules, and also atoms can form the ions. Thus we can conclude that matter is an integral part of our universe. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel so as to stay updated with the latest content. Thank you.